Hello, welcome back to the interface. My name's Alex, and today I have a bit of a different video for you. We're going to be looking at all the dials and the displays in the 2026 Morgan Supersport. We have a driver's display just in front of me here, two dials, and the dials for the middle section. The Morgan Supersport has Bluetooth. It also has air conditioning and, as I said, a little driver's display with a few controls, a few nice modern creature comforts that you can use. You can answer the phone, you can listen to music and all that kind of good stuff. So let's take a look through now. First things first, let's look at the center section of the dashboard. Now, obviously, as you can see, there isn't any massive touchscreen. There's no haptic buttons. There's no fancy stuff going on. Instead, what we do have are a selection of beautifully crafted dials. This will vary slightly, the layout will vary slightly based on if you have a left-hand drive Morgan or a right-hand drive Morgan. I'm in the UK, so this one is a right-hand drive Morgan. In this center section, as I said, there's not much, but it does look quite classy, I do think. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. On the left-hand side, we do have the speedometer, and this will obviously move when you do accelerate. We also have a physical digital readout of the speed on the driver's display, and we'll look at that a little bit later. On the right-hand side, we do have the tachometer, or the rev meter, depending on how you call it. And the difference between a left-hand drive car and a right-hand drive car will be that those two dials will be switched positions, so it will actually make sense, I guess. You do have the rev meter closest to you, and as you can see, the Morgan badge is etched into the metalwork behind the glass. When you do turn the ignition on, which I will do in a second, the dials do a very nice sweep with a little motor clicky noise, which is quite nice. In the very center, there is a very nice analog clock. You set the clock from the driver's display. I will look at that a bit later too. And then in the middle section, we do have a selection of very nice buttons. There's 5 in total for these push button ones. So you do have the air conditioning. This is a very rare thing to find in a Morgan, which is air conditioning. And thankfully this car does have it. It is very hot today. We have got the hazard warning switch. The heated windscreen, which is a very nice feature as well. The start button, and I'll look at that in a second. The air conditioning movement, so by default there are some air vents underneath the dashboard, but you can also send the air to underneath your feet as well. And those buttons have a very nice feel to them. Just, yeah, really nice and good quality. And then either side of those buttons we do have 2 wheels. These wheels look a little bit simple, but they do have quite a lot of functionality. I will discuss what these kind of do in relation to the screen a bit later in the video, but this one is your volume. So you can spin that around and that will control the volume. This car does have Bluetooth audio, which is quite good. There's no radio, there's no any other media features. You just got Bluetooth to your phone, and there is a wireless phone charger underneath the dashboard as well. And then what you can do is click in, and that will enter into the skip track mode, and you can move back to go back, and then you can click it again and go forward to move forward a track. So there's one button, but there is quite a lot of functionality there, which is quite nice. Again, as I said, I will look at what the controls on that dial do in relation to the screen, because the screen for the driver is the only visual representation you do have as to what is going on with the entire car. And then on the right hand side we do have the fan. Now by default this wheel will move the fan up and down, so just increases or decreases the airflow, and as I said, the air vents are below the dashboard. You can click it in, and then that will turn up the heat basically, so it'll move from air conditioning mode to heating mode, and you can control the heat that way. It does seem to work quite well. I haven't been using the heating system because it is summer at the moment and it is quite warm, but there is thankfully that feature there in case you are driving at night time. As for other climate features, below the dashboard there are 2 buttons, one either side, and that does control the heated seats for the passenger and the driver. There are 2 levels of temperature. One is insanely hot and one is lukewarm, so you have to sort of do a little dance between how warm you do want it in the car, but that does seem to work quite well. This whole system is quite simple, but it looks beautiful and it does have a functional purpose. The Morgan Supersport, as I mentioned in my main review, which is linked in the description down below, it's not a car for the everyday. It's for special occasions, but because this one is a bit more refined than other Morgans have been in the past, you can at least use it a bit more often than you might have done with other Morgans as well. So, as I said, we have air conditioning, we have Bluetooth audio, we have an automatic gearbox, we've got a bit more refinement in here, and it is a very nice place to spend a journey. Before we go any further, looking at the dials and the driver's display in the Morgan Supersport, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the Interface Cars YouTube channel. There's lots of content coming every single week, just like this, so your support will be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Next, let's look at the driver display area. Now, this is the only place in this car where we have any physical display of any kind. In the middle section, as we saw a little bit earlier, we do have the speedometer, the clock, and the tachometer, as well as a selection of physical buttons. However, moving into the 21st century, Morgan did decide to add a little display to give you some status, because this car does have Bluetooth audio, much like the latest Plus 4 does have as well. And we've got air conditioning, so we need to know the status of those various systems. With the ignition off, it looks like this. And if we turn the ignition on, get some buzzing, and if we press start, the fuel gauge moves into position, and this little display lights up. Now there are two displays, so at the very top we do have the warning symbols, and these symbols will display various bits and pieces, more serious issues than anything on the main display. And then in the middle section, we do have a fair amount of functionality. So this display is a little bit tricky to film because it does have a sort of a matte finish display on it to make it easy to read in the sun. It's got a weird like motley effect on it, so it's very hard to film, so apologies if it's not 100% clear, but you should be able to get the gist of what it looks like. It's split into various sections, and in this display we can control the audio system, the air conditioning, and look at the trip computer and look at the temperature outside. So on the left hand side is what gear that you have selected right now. So park, drive, sport, sport plus, and the manual modes and reverse as well. So that's your status of your gears in the car, so that will always be the same. If you do switch into sport mode, the car will have a yellow background on the display and have a red background for the sport plus mode, so it does have a little bit of customization there. The middle section is your speed, and it's in miles an hour. That can't be changed to kilometers an hour, as far as I can see. The format of the speed in the car is fixed to where you bought the car from. So if you do buy it in Europe, for example, it would be in kilometers an hour. The speedo in the middle of the car itself would be in kilometers an hour, as will the display. From what I can tell, there aren't any settings on here, so you can't go in and change that if you want to. So if you are driving abroad, you would have to do some maths. And then we do have the little warning symbols down the bottom, such as the seatbelt isn't done up, the engine's in ignition mode, and then above that we do have the headlight status. The right hand side at the moment is blank. That's because that's where your status of your sound system is, and also your air conditioning. In terms of headlights, so I can turn the side lights on, the main beams, and then what I can also do is flash the high beams there. There we go. And then also put it back into auto mode, and that is all good. It's quite surprising to have auto headlights on a Morgan, but it is a very nice addition nonetheless. Also, when you do indicate, your little lights will light up in the dashboard. Same for right. And also we do have our fog lights, so we can move the light indicator into the third position, and that turns on our main headlights, even though the icon does have the side beam. And then we can switch the fog lights on using this little wheel on the stalk. There we go. And we can also turn on our high beams as well. But I'm just going to leave everything in auto, and it does take care of everything for us. So as I said, on the right hand side, this is where the status of things are going to be. The first one I want to look at is the air conditioning. So if I turn the fan speed here, that does adjust the fan. And I've got the aircon on the button there. That's all good. If we click the fan icon in, that adjusts our temp. So we can have it on full cold or full warm, which I definitely don't want. So you can adjust the temp in here. That is quite nice. If you click back in, that does get you back to the fan speed. So it does work quite well. It is very easy to use. They've made very good use of the limited buttons in here that they did want to put in without making it feel really old-fashioned. As for the media controls, I have got my phone connected right now, and connecting your phone is super easy. All you do is switch the car into its ignition mode, which is on right now. Look on your phone, look for the word Morgan, and there will be a 4-digit code which will be unique to your particular car. You can just pay your phone, and that is it basically. There's no system or menu to delete connected phones. It looks like you can only connect one phone at a time, which is fairly good nonetheless. It's not a car that's going to be shared by many people potentially, maybe husband and wife, and maybe one person by themselves, so I think that's fine. I have got my phone connected right now, and I've got the volume control here. The audio I'm listening to is paused. I'm going to play out my phone. If you do want to skip back a track, what you can do is click in on the button and then use the wheels to go back, click in again and then move it forwards, and that will move the track forward. So quite an intuitive system. And it does work quite well really. That's the air conditioning and the climate control. Now on the right hand stalk on the car there is a button with a rewind icon on it. If you click in once, this will take you through to the menu system on the car. So we've got the MPG here, we've got the trip which can be reset, the odometer, the temperature outside, the brightness of the display, the auto high beam function which you can turn off by holding in on the icon. We've got that icon there which will reset the clock, and you can change the clock there. And then at the very end we did have the fuel or the oil level actually in the car. So if we look at the oil level, and thankfully the car has 4 out of 4 on the oil, which is good news. So there are a few things you can control on here. So the MPG, you can hold that in and that will reset, and this will reset after every time you get in and out of the car and restart the engine, so it doesn't hold on to data for a long time, which is a bit of a shame, but there is a limited amount they can possibly do that you do need actually from the car. Next one is a trip. So again, you hold in the icon and it will reset the trip. The odometer obviously can't be reset. Temperature, so you can't do much with that apart from changing the format from Celsius to Fahrenheit. That doesn't change the miles an hour format either, so it's holding in the button. The next one is the brightness. So what you can do is hold in the button again, and then you can cycle through the different brightness levels. You let go and that is full brightness. Click it again, we do have the auto high beams. So again, hold on the button, hold off again, and that turns on the auto high beams. You can only do this while stationary, by the way. Some of the functions aren't available while driving. If you hold this icon in, you can actually adjust the clock, and then you have got finite adjustment too. And then this one is your oil level, so you can reset the oil level, and it will let you know how much oil was left in the car. The clock itself, as I said, can be reset from here. If we do want to adjust that, it is a manual clock. You'll have to adjust it every time. That's quite a nice interaction that you do have with the car, I do think, so it's quite nice really. That's basically it for the driver's display. If we do start the engine up now, we have got some icons that do appear for... Hopefully you can still hear me. So if I put the car into drive, there we go, that's in now drive. And if I click into sport mode, the icons, well, the whole display just go yellow, and then sport plus mode is red, so that's quite nice. And as we do move up and down the gears, you have got the gear selector there as well, back into D. Reverse doesn't change icons, you got neutral, and then park back again. So all pretty good really. And then to turn off the car, all you do is push the key into its normal position, and that is all good. So that's been a look at the dials and the driver's display in the 2026 Morgan Supersport. If you so happen to own a Morgan Supersport and found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. Also, the same if you are looking to purchase the Morgan Supersport and you just want to know more about the interior, let me know again in the comments down below. I'd be really fascinated to hear what you think, if it was actually useful to you. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Alex. Please subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.